Yeah. Honestly. Alright, sorry guys, it seems like we have finally managed to make our way around towards where Tingana is. Now, he's in a bit of a tricky spot, so I thought maybe we were going to have a visual from here, but we didn't, so I'm just quickly going to try and go around, see if perhaps we get lucky with another view. Now, it seems like it's been quite a very interesting morning around Chitwa, because indeed they had a lot of leopards around here. So Tingana is here, Thandi was here, and there was another female leopard also spotted around this area. So it seems like Thandi is busy chasing that other female away, and apparently she's been calling and salivating quite a bit, but she has been lost going into the western side of the property, and Tingana should be somewhere. So just doing a bit of bundu bashing, trying to see him, because it seems like he is in quite of a thick spot. So just stick around with us for a few moments and we will get down there. I think good old Wendy has done a good job in keeping us alive in all these thickets. Very interesting. I think they didn't have an idea on who that leopard, that other female was. Perhaps it's that mystery one. Now, this is where the guys were, so I wonder where you are. Leopard. Right, and the plot thickens because I am looking at a dead warthog. So it's got a kill. And I think maybe there was a bit of stealing. Did you steal it from Thandi, you little thief? Ooh. Alright, so the kill is pretty much next to us, but I cannot see Tingana around here. Can you see him? Okay, perfect. As long as you can see him behind it. My God, I would have never been able to see that. Look at that camouflage. This is incredible. And like we said, I am about maybe 5 meters away from it, and I cannot see it with my own eyes. Only thanks to the camera do I know that there's actually a leopard in there. Oh, okay, I can see you now. I was looking in the wrong direction. This is incredible. Wow, I think it was definitely worth our way here. It seems like someone's developing a preference for bacon, perhaps. Well done, Tingana. Now, like I said, I'm not too sure if he made the kill or if he stole it from Thandi. I will radio the guys in a little while and just find out from them what exactly happened around here. Because Shanae had Thandi a little while ago, but she was busy just chasing these other leopard around, and it was very hard to follow her. Alright, sorry, let's find out. Sorry, did Tingana make this bamba or did Thandi make it? I think my radio is not helping me communicate with the rest of the guys, but I'm sure we'll... Alright, so it seems like I've just been saying ugly things about this beautiful leopard. Thank you. And apparently it was Tingana the one that made this kill. And so good for you. I'm sorry that I said that you were a little thief and that you stole it. I have seen you hunt warthog before, so quite impressive. And my goodness, it's amazing to see just where he's hiding, just underneath a few bushes, as such a big creature that we're not able to see. Something that's actually bigger and heavier than me, and he is grooming himself. Perhaps a bit of blood that got caught while he made the kill. And I wonder if perhaps Thandi wasn't attracted to the squeals of the piglet as well as the other female, and then all of a sudden they all had a very strange situation where too many leopards were together. Now, like we said, Thandi and Tamba, they would perhaps have a bit more of a non-violent encounter, but Thandi and that other female, well, it seems like it was quite a stressful one for both of them, because Thandi was not happy to have another intruder in her territory, and it seems like she's changed her off. And she was carrying on following her as at, oh my goodness, there she comes. There's another leopard coming to us. Guys, this is incredible. Right, just as we were saying. Now, if you guys can help us with the ID, I would really appreciate it. I don't know if this is Thandi, as I've never seen her before. Oh my goodness, this is... I am the meat in between a leopard sandwich. This is incredible. I would imagine this is Thandi. Alright, and it seems like the other female that was around here that Thandi was chasing off her was Kuchava. Interesting, very interesting turn of events. Wow, this is so exciting, guys. What a morning we've had, and they've been chasing her around the block to come and see, and I wonder if perhaps she's going to come onto Tingana a little bit later, perhaps going to try and steal the kill, although I think she's a bit small for Tingana to try and take on that kill, but Tingana's all of a sudden gone still, so I wonder if he knows that there's another female here. Oh my goodness. There's one Mafazi Ingwe that's now returned to Tingana. I'm not too sure if it's Thandi. Alright guys, so if you can help us ID her using the hashtag Safari Live so that we can start piecing or putting together the puzzle, the leopard puzzle that we've got around here. So exciting. I was not expecting this female to return. James, you say it's Thandi. Well, thank you very much for helping me. I have never seen her. I've only seen Tamba once, and now, yay, finally seen Thandi with my own eyes. I had a feeling it was her because she looks a bit of like an older female compared to what the updates that I was getting on the radio. It sounded like the other one was a lot younger. So, good to know that she's here, and I think maybe she's made a statement as in like, this is my area. And Tingana's pretty much fallen asleep, so I wonder if perhaps she's sticking around waiting for the kill. There have been rumors, as we were discussing earlier on, of apparently Thandi starting to go back into heat and mating with Tingana. So I wonder if this is what we're looking at, or just the early stages of maybe her going back into getting ready to have her next litter. Like we said, we're all just speculating because nobody has seen them mate for the time being, but interesting because they did have tracks for a female and a male leopard walking around Chitwa not too long ago, and we all assumed that it was Thandi and Tamba because Tamba's feet are quite big. But very interesting. Well, we definitely did not expect to see all these things around today. I want to see what these two leopards are going to get up to now. Seems like maybe they've had quite a stressful morning, judging by the looks of it. Maybe not Tingana, as he's quite happy, but I'm sure he had to walk quite a bit to be able to get that young warthog. But Thandi chasing Kuchava up and down and moving around, I'm sure it's been a bit harder for her. And she's just gone back, and I think she must have covered quite a lot of ground very quickly, because we are at a certain distance from the dam and the airstrip, and apparently she was just last seen going west, chasing this other female and running behind her, and then all of a sudden she's come back all the way here. Sorry, going east, and then she came back west. So interesting. I would have never expected to see two leopards together. I don't know what to say. I'm so excited. I think Thandi, you are pretty much going to sleep over there. And Tingana here. Just 1 second, guys. Standing by. Tight spot, but I think it will be enough space for two. Sorry, you broke off there. Go again. Shanae Farali. Yeah, if you want, you can make your way. You'll have a visual of either Thandi or Tingana. Alright, so we can just see down there the face of the warthog, that a young warthog, and I wonder if perhaps Tingana played another game of patience, because now we know that he likes standing on top of termite mounds, and he'll wait patiently for either the warthogs to come out, which I imagine is what happened this morning, or for at night for the warthogs to return and come back onto their burrow. So it got another youngster, but we know that this is going to last him at least for a day, so I'm sure he'll be quite happy to have it here. Or perhaps he's going to, who knows, maybe he'll even be decent enough to Thandi and share a bit of his meal, although I really doubt it, because unfortunately male leopards are not known for being true gentlemen when it comes to sharing food. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to come here this afternoon and see what happens. Herb, you're saying Tingana's an hour early. Maybe he is. Well, I think he is, but how wonderful. At least I think maybe this is his way for making up for all those last minutes that he hasn't actually showed up and let us see him. So happy to meet you at last, Thandi. Now, Aqua, you're wondering if Thandi or if Tamba is not a bit too young for Thandi to start mating again. Likely Tamba is. However, Tamba is already a year old, and there are cases in the wild when the mothers will leave them when they're about a year and a half, and they'll pretty much force them into adulthood. That's why I'm saying that we need to be a bit careful with all the speculations that have been going around about Thandi and Tingana spending time together and mating. It could just be that this is a trick to keep her away from Tamba. I've seen leopards do that before. Or maybe, like we said, our leopards in this area are slightly more sociable than what we give them credit for. So until we have solid proof that they are mating, I think let's not make any assumptions. I think it's been quite a strange morning. It could be as well that they just bumped into each other, and Thandi knows that the kill is here. Perhaps she's going to patiently wait to see if she can get some of the scraps. And it could have also been that Kuchava just bumped into the two of them, or they all bumped into each other, and Kuchava being the only direct competition for Thandi, then she would chase her away. So I think in the next few weeks or so we'll be able to determine what's actually happening. James, you're saying you're so happy that I finally got to meet Thandi. Thank you, that's very nice of you. I'm also super happy that I finally got to meet her. Her and Tamba have been eluding me, so I'm honored, quite frankly, that the spots have revealed themselves to me, because I think sometimes with leopards that is the case. We don't find them, but then they let us find them. I'm going to sit around here for a while longer, see how this plays out, but while I do that, let's go over to Taylor, who's got a beautiful bird. To leave Tingana, or the spot where we were, so just that we could have a closer look at Thandi, and it seems like she's had quite a tough morning chasing Kuchava around, and she almost seems like she wants to go back to sleep. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out between her and Tingana for the rest of the day, as I'm sure many of us are wondering. Are you starting with loving eyes, or is it just perhaps a coincidence that the two of you are around here? Or are you wanting to see if perhaps you can have a bit of that kill? As the day goes by, we'll be able to tell what's been happening. I wonder if perhaps they came and they crossed, and she went in from where we last saw him, which was quite far into Djuma, and then they've come back down using the Molowati. That's a perfect drainage system for them to move up and down in between Chitwa and Djuma without ever having to cross a real road, making it a bit. We did fight off the gremlins, and it was a tough fight because we were in a drainage line and we had to come a little bit higher up to get some signal, but all sorted now, and we have a beautiful view of Thandi all the way from here. So just as Taylor mentioned, she is starting to become more and more sleepy as the day gets warmer and warmer. However, she's gone into a very strategic spot where it's nice and shady. Perhaps not as shady as that strange spot that Tingana chose, but nonetheless, very good spot. Now, there are lots of marula trees around this area, so I wonder why Tingana didn't think that it would be better for all of us had we decided, why he didn't put it up the tree and making all of our lives a lot easier. No, I'm just being picky now. I think we are very spoiled in this area, and leopards don't always have to put their kills up a tree. And as a matter of fact, the area or the spot where he put that warthog is a very good place to hide it from any potential predator. So he'll be able to eat it during the day without really having to worry too much about other scavengers coming into this area. And at night, if there's anything left of the kill, then I think that's when he might try to put it up. Now, Thandi, every now and again, like she did now, she glances on Tingana's direction, who's still very happily sleeping, hugging his kill for the day. Oh, can you hear him? Maybe Tingana has started to maybe munch a little bit. And interesting that they're so close together. I think Sabi, James, you're wondering how long before they finish their kill. Well, I think it would probably take Tingana a day to finish that warthog piglet that he's got. It's not one of the biggest ones that I've seen, but it's definitely a good meal for him as one male leopard. Now, I am still puzzled because leopards don't normally share kills. It's not something like the lions do, where one will catch something and then the other pride members will come and share it. And I feel that if Thandi were properly coming into heat, likely she would go closer to Tingana and try to incite him into mating, which it seems like she hasn't done all morning. So I am wondering what all of this is out and about. Very interesting. I love it how the leopard world, everything that you read in a textbook, all of a sudden, if you spend enough time out there, there will be someone that will just change things up and spice them up and just make you doubt everything you've ever read before. I think, like I said, we're going to have to just be patient around, and hopefully this afternoon there'll be somewhere where we can see them, just so that we can carry on finding out how this whole scenario is going to play out. For now, seems like both leopards are very sleepy. Seems like it was high activity in the morning. And I mean, how rare is it to see Tingana not at the last minute like we did yesterday? So he has been steadily moving. We found him at Buffelshoek Dam, which is pretty much the most eastern corner of Djuma, and he still had to carry on walking east and south from where he was to get all the way here. So I think he's earned a well-deserved rest after probably patrolling and making a kill. And Thandi, we haven't seen her for the last few days. We have actually all been wondering where she was, because Tumba was pretty much left at Gowrie Dam. So at one point I'm sure she had to go all the way there to fetch Tumba or just be in contact with him, and then excuse me, and then come all the way down here. Now, as the sun starts getting hotter, or starts coming into the apex of its circle around the earth, I think she won't be comfortable where she is now, and she's gonna have to find a bit of a shadier spot. So there are a lot of thick bushes around here where she could easily hide underneath, or perhaps maybe she'll go a bit closer to Tingana in the hopes of getting some of that kill, or if not, and wishfully, hopefully, she would go up a tree. However, I don't see many comfortable trees around here where it might be worth for her. Lots of trees without leaves, like the one that we saw the monkeys in this morning. Beautiful. I got very excited that she came back. Now, I don't hear anything coming from Tingana's direction, so I think he's probably sleeping too. Anna Marie, you're wondering if Tumba would stay at a distance if he sees Thandi and Tingana together. Likely he will, not so much for Thandi, but for Tingana. I don't know, like we said, leopards in this area tend to be slightly more sociable than perhaps in some other areas. So it could very well be, I don't know if Tingana has been seen with Tumba recently, so if any of you guys know the answer for this, just please let me know. But I think Tumba is going to try keeping a healthy distance away from Tingana. Very likely Tingana could recognize him as his offspring and not pay too much attention to him. However, as Tamba starts getting older, then he's going to start becoming competition or potential competition for Tingana, and that's where things might get a little bit tricky. So leopard cubs, or sub-adult leopards, which I think is more appropriate for Tamba, they quickly learn that their best chance is just to kind of stay away from bigger male leopards. Doesn't matter who they are, just to ensure their survival in general. Even if Tamba were to come across Shadow or another fully grown adult leopard, I don't think that the encounter would be all that friendly. I am entirely fascinated by how things have played out with the Thandi, Tamba, Shadow and Cub and Tingana dynamics of the last few weeks. Anna-Marie, you're wondering if leopards would also catch and eat bats. Is that correct, Megan? Bats. Well, if they could, or if they manage to grab them, leopards are opportunistic, so they will very likely eat them. However, I don't think they would spend too much time trying to catch the bats unless they found a roosting point for them and try to get them directly from the tree. Likely they would go for more conventional things that they are a bit more skilled at hunting. But you never know. Leopards can always surprise you, especially older leopards. They sometimes get quite creative when it comes to finding new food sources. Oh, Thandi, you're so pretty. Sleeping very tightly there. What an interesting morning this has been. Sorry guys, I think somebody's trying to get a hold of me on the radio. Standing by. Standing by. Yeah, the Zingolok is still running. There's Tingana and Thandi. Alright, I think that's going to be it in terms of radio talk. Quite amazing. It seems like Taylor's enjoying the feather friends today, so let's go over to her and see if perhaps she can find us a spotted bird. Well, it seems like our spotted friends haven't really been up to much in the last little while. I think Thandi is definitely out and very, very sleepy, and there's been absolutely no movements or sounds coming from where we left Tingana. So I think overall they have chosen, or if perhaps by accident they got lucky with a very good spot where she is sleeping. There are lots of little hideouts and places where she can go if the sun starts bothering her. But also if her and Tingana do start eating on that kill, the Chitwa dam is not too far from here, so it would be a good spot for the two of them to go down for a drink of water perhaps later on this afternoon. So it'll be worth it to see what these two beautiful cats do throughout the day, and just keep everyone posted, as in like, all the questions that we would like to have answered in terms of their behavior. Oh, Thandi. She looks okay, not too full, but perhaps that's why she's here. Teresa, you're wondering if there's any crossbreeding between leopards and cats. No, not in the wild, and not with wildcats or servals or any other species around here. Sorry, Megan, you're gonna apparently I got the question wrong. Is there crossbreeding with cats? No. Well, I'm not too sure where the question is aiming. Sorry, Teresa. Crossbreeding with these leopards as in inbreeding, or breeding with Tingana and Thandi? So, if you're referring to inbreeding and perhaps Thandi mating with one of her offspring at one point, it does happen in lion and leopard populations every now and again, and that's why the young males are pushed away from their area where they were born by the dominant male, which is likely what's going to happen to Tamba if Tingana or Quarantine are still the males, roughly around this area where he gets seen. Now, in terms of interbreeding with other species of cats with leopards, as far as I know, it's not reported in the wild. And then crossbreeding, as in Thandi perhaps mating with multiple male leopards while she is, or when her estrus period comes along, then yes, that does happen quite often, and it is known that sometimes leopards can give birth to the same litter. They could be different individuals sired by different males, and it happens as well with lions. So it's a way of confusing all the males around, and just if they go and mate with as many males as possible, then the males won't really know if their cubs belong to them or to another male. So if they've mated with that particular female and they bump into that female with a cub, there's a very good chance that they'll recognize that cub as their own and protect it, or they're not actively involved in the raising, but at least protect the territory from other males coming around that might try to take those cubs out. I hope I somewhat managed to answer your question. So it seems like they are going to be here for quite a while, so I think maybe what we're going to do in the next few minutes or so, if they don't get up and start moving, we're going to leave them, because I don't think this is going to change all too much in the next few hours or so, and we'll definitely come and check sometime this afternoon, see if perhaps they stick around. I know it'll be quite interesting, and like I said, the dam is roughly in that direction. We have been hearing the guinea fowl and of course the Egyptian geese and the hippos every now and again laughing, and I believe Taylor did the most splendid hippo imitation yesterday. So maybe we should ask her. I'm going to ask her to do it again in camp and see what she got up to. But they've got a very good spot. Lots of hideouts. Food is over there. Water's over there. So I think this is a happy place for a leopard. Why would you even try to go anywhere else? Maybe just when the sun starts annoying us too much. Lauren from Illinois, you're wondering if leopards would ever eat eggs, even ostrich eggs. Well, I don't doubt that they would. They are opportunistic animals, so if they manage to find anything that would be useful for them to eat or that had protein, I reckon they would. However, it's not common practice amongst leopards to eat eggs. That's more common for reptiles to do. So given the opportunity, very likely they would try their luck, but I think they would just pretty much leave it and wait for the eggs to hatch and then go for the little ones. That would be more the leopard way of doing things, even with tiny little ostriches. We don't really get ostriches around this area, but if we were to carry on going east in that direction, we would get to the Kruger National Park, and around the Satara area we often see ostriches, but not too many of them around here. I think it's a bit thick, and too many of these beautiful cats just lurking around. And ostriches can be very easily hunted by lions, and cheetahs also do. I think maybe a young ostrich would be fine for a leopard, but an older ostrich, I think that would be a bit too optimistic. Although, who knows, Tingana is quite a surprising individual, so that'll be quite interesting. Tingana versus the ostrich. Okay. Seems like Taylor's still trying to figure out the hyena mystery, so let's go over to her and see if she's found any more tracks leading to solve this case.